It's a good ass day today, because I'm 6 months sober, yeah. So freaking proud and so freaking happy, sing it to the world. Sure, that can be the intro. I'm down. What's going on, guys? My name is Noah, and as I think you can tell, I'm a happy camper today. Today I celebrate 6 months of continuous sobriety and a very important caveat, 6 months of actively working a recovery program. I do think it's important to claim the distinction because I've been sober and miserable, and I've been sober and pretty damn happy like I am right now. And the biggest difference for me is taking away alcohol but replacing it with something that has been proven to be very helpful, such as like a recovery program and or something, right? Just not removing simply the alcohol. That doesn't work for me personally. Accumulating 6 months of sobriety and recovery work is a really big deal. So I want you to also understand that if you're a drinker, it's a safe space for you. This is not me on a soapbox. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not here to convert you or change you. You're good being just the way you are, so long as you feel okay being just the way you are, right? I don't feel better than for this. I do feel extremely grateful though, because my life was falling apart. If you want to flash back 6 months ago, you will see some content that reflects a man who was struggling physically, struggling emotionally, struggling mentally, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. I was struggling with my health, my weight, my marriage was struggling, my finances was struggling. I was struggling, and that's a theme for me when my self-will runs riot. And 6 months ago, there was once more no hope for my future on a day-to-day basis. I didn't like the person I was looking at in the mirror. Tremendous shame, tremendous guilt. You guys know that feeling where you're just like, you know that you are leaving things on the table. You know you are not living to your greatest potential. You know when you're not living right, is what I'm trying to say, and I'm dressing it up in too many words. I wasn't living right. I had that feeling. And that was always a feeling I got eventually as someone who drank the way I drank. I was not well. I really wasn't. April 11th, I committed to a process. And for me, that process was a 12-step one. I am not here to promote any specific process. I'm just simply here to share what worked really well for me. And coming in broken once more, but more broken than I ever recall being in the past, that desperation lent itself well to willingness for me. And I wish I could say that I was someone who was just inherently good at borrowing other people's misery, suffering, using other people's story as like a warning sign, but that is not my nature. Like, I just came in so beat up that I was like, anything anyone says, I will do. I need help. If I don't take this help right now, I could totally see myself being like, peace, life, just my destiny, I accept that. You know how freaky it is to like realize that you are starting to just accept that you're a hopeless alcoholic? I was getting there, and I could tell. I got a sponsor in my 12-step program. I got a service position in my 12-step program. I got a drug and alcohol counselor. I had daily meetings in my 12-step program, and I had full transparency with my wife and people around me. And I just did what was suggested. That's it. It's not sexy. It's not fancy. It was just good old-fashioned work. And my desperation and my despair and my fear pushed me into this work. And miracles have been happening in my life. That's it. Like, my life is so good today. I can't believe how different my life is right now than it was 6 months ago. And all I had to do was what was suggested and let go of my own thoughts about it. I had to remove my ego and just be like, whatever you say. I don't have to understand what you're saying. I don't have to like it. I don't have to get it. Just do it. And with that model, I've done really well. I'm doing things I always dreamed I would do. Like, before I got sober and chose personally to work a 12-step recovery program with all my might. No days off, no excuses. I always had this like vision of myself for who I might be able to become. And I would get high on that idea sometimes. Like I would drink and dream. That was a big thing for me. Drink and dream and talk to other dreamers. And we dreamers would drink and dream of all the great things we would do and would become. And then we'd wake up hungover and do none of them. That was like my deal. I'm going to drink, dream, talk, try to look good, and not follow through with anything. And I knew I was a fraud. Like I knew I was a fraud. My behavior never matched my mood and my mind. And today it does. Like today, I am somebody that I'm genuinely proud of. And I still have self-esteem issues, and I still have some patterns I'm working through that I don't even realize, or I didn't realize before how devastating they've been to my progress as a person. But I'm working on them, and I have hope for the future. I love my behavior today. I've learned things and applied things on faith alone that have drastically changed me in ways that I always wondered if I could ever be changed. The point is, I will not let anything I think I know stop me from getting the help I need. I like the way my wife looks at me. I've got a marriage and a relationship with her that I never thought we could possibly have. We are so in love today, and she was getting ready to leave me 6 months ago. I didn't know that, but I sensed it, and I later found out. I have genuine relationships today, really meaningful ones, most importantly with myself. And I do things that successful people do that I used to dream about doing. I've got morning routines. I've got business opportunities. I take care of myself. I show up for myself and others. And I'm learning not to complain. I'm learning to be grateful. I'm learning to be helpful. I'm just like learning how to be a person. Like it's dope. Like I know I sound like one of those cliche 12-steppers, but like I'm high on this stuff. Like it feels good. And I want other people to know that they can have that too. It doesn't have to be through 12-step, of course. I mean, hell, there's so many ways to get support and do this. The only thing I imagine is key is to try not to do it alone. I think that's really important. I used to genuinely think that while sobriety was very conducive to being more responsible and productive and healthy, I always felt like as a sober person, I was just missing out on something. There was just this something out there that I want also. I would romanticize this connectivity I felt with it, you know. Alcohol just is my best friend in so many ways. Anyway, I had this party, my first sober party last week. It was a UFC event, and 10 of my closest friends came over. And we ate so much good food, and we talked, and we watched the fight, and we laughed, and we just had so much fun. And I felt kind of high. My wife even literally told me later in the night that she was like looking over, like having PTSD, because she wasn't sure if I was like, am I drunk or something? Like, because I was acting so silly, and I was so excited and exuberant, and I was on fire. I really was. And I've never felt quite that on fire before sober. It was the people. It was the event. It was like being more mindful and grateful. It was not, the alcohol wasn't the limiting factor. And that was a really, really good experience for me. Like I needed to experience that. And I'm half a year in and I had that sort of experience. And I don't know when that hits certain people or how it hits them, but it hit me hard. I was in the bathroom. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I literally feel like I'm buzzing right now. I'm so happy. Like, holy shit. This is how those old parties used to feel minus alcohol. Like, I'm on fire. And I'm just thankful for that. And it's a great feeling, and I'm going to ride this feeling. And I've had some harder days, but mental health wise, and I've had some cravings a couple times that have come up, but I've always played the tape through, and I've always trusted the process. And so far, the process is working. And something that keeps me complying is the fact that I know that old life I had, it can be refunded to me. I can go back if I so choose. And I know what's there. I lived that life. And I won't be one of those people that says it was all bad, but it was getting bad. And the good times were dissipating, and the consequences and the emotional problems and the mental problems and all of these bad things were festering. It's still there. And so I can always treat this living more responsibly, for me, this new life I have, I can treat it like an experiment and see where it's going on a day-to-day basis. And I like that. All I have to do is do the next right thing for today. And that has lent itself to 6 months, which is great, but it's really about today. I have met some people that are sober, that are miserable. And I have met some people that are in recovery and sober and are so happy. So I understand that it's not just about the alcohol. What I've been taught, which I've come to believe, is that was a symptom. That was a symptom. And that makes sense to me. And that's why I fill that void with blah, 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 my 12-step stuff. So anyway, you're looking at a grateful alcoholic today who's found something that works for him. And I just hope that you guys know that I really appreciate everything you've ever done for me. I appreciate you sharing your experiences. I appreciate your constructive criticism. I appreciate your kindness and the way you build me up. You guys have been a huge part of my life, and I'm thankful to be in a good space today. I'm thankful to be worthy of your time today, where many times in the past I have just felt unworthy. And today I know that I am. So please share your experiences in the comments below. If you are just you're just hurting and you're struggling like I was struggling 6 months ago, please be kind to yourself and know that it's a new day and you can be anybody you want to be, and you don't have to suffer any longer. And there is help. There really is. It's available to you. And you don't even have to understand how you're going to get there or how you could possibly change. Just know that people have done it. It's possible. And I want to shout it from the mountaintops, clearly. And so I will wake up tomorrow and I will stick to my morning routine, and I will go to my meetings. I will do my homework. I will say my prayers. I'll do my gratitude list. I will go to the gym and I will work out. I'm going to eat very healthy and take care of myself, and I'm going to take full adult responsibility today because I like the way that feels and I like the way the future looks, whereas before couldn't see past the misery of my moment. I'm just living for these little moments. Nothing sustainable. So if you're still here, then put in the comments below, ye. Y-E-E. I deserve this happiness today. And I hope I sent some of it your way too. Yeah, some of you have been incredible mentors for me. And anyone who's here is special to me. We'll see you guys in the next video. One day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time. We can get through whatever we're going through. We can do it together. I promise. Just don't do it alone. We'll see you guys next time. Adios, muchachos and brochachas.